Welcome to the KMT Line Model Railroad. This is November 27th, 2021, and this is update number 24. Now, in update number 19, I had talked about the need to put some sort of a signal down in this area here to indicate that either the tunnel or the other side of the tunnel was occupied, keep locomotives, engines, and trains from going through the tunnel. Well, keep them from running into the mirror, actually. So what I did is I went checking and I found a little semaphore kit. And in that episode, I also talked about the kit and how I wasn't really satisfied with it. So what I did in the meantime was I started doing some research on older signals and trying to come up with an idea of what I could put right here. Well, I did some research and I found something that I thought was kind of interesting. So let me take you to the computer and I'll show you some pictures and some of the things I found, and then we'll go to the workbench and show you what I created. Okay, so I went to my computer and started up my search engine, and I started a search for images of railway signals. And unfortunately, the results came back with a lot of more modern stuff that I really wasn't interested in. So I sat back and I refined the search to search for early railway signals. And this gave me much better results, something I was really more interested in. And one of the images that caught my eye of what I would later learn is a ball signal. And the ball signal is where the term highballing comes from. But the image caught my eye. I liked it. So I went to that website, and it showed several signals that apparently a couple of them are still currently in operation as of 2017. And I figured this would be perfect for Waterman Junction. The other thing that I also needed was a small maintenance shed. I needed something that would be like a tunnel maintenance shed or a tunnel portal maintenance shed, and a spot to sit next to the ball signal. So with that in mind, I took this photo and I went to the workbench. And now let me show you at the workbench what I created. Okay, so after settling on doing a ball signal, I decided that best thing for me to do is just build my own. There are a couple of companies that make kits, but I have more fun making my own. So this is what I came up with. It starts off with a scale 8x8 post that is scale 16.5 feet tall, which is 2¼ inches. Then I added the cross members to hold the pulleys. The cross members are made from styrene, and it's stacked up in several places, but the styrene is the item number 125, the flat, and it's the 20 thou by 100 thou. And then the pulleys came from a Rio Grande Models Limited kit, what they call their 24-inch block. It is item number 3514. And then I added, put them in there in the cross members. I added the thread. The thread is just an ordinary white heavy-duty thread and weathered up. The ball that I selected is from a 1/8 inch jewelry bead that I stole from my wife's jewelry bead collection. And I decided that some of them I saw were orange, some red, some white and black. I decided to go with the red. And of course I have it set down to the bottom to tell the engineer and everybody to stop, that where this is positioned in front of the tunnel portal, that the tunnel or the other side of the tunnel is occupied, so they will stop. And that's it, weathered up. When I weathered it, I used my normal 2 weathering colors. The darker color is the raw umber, and then the lighter, make it look more recent rust, is the burnt sienna. And they're just the cheap craft paints. These are both Americana paints. And that's it. I also slapped some on the white paint of the post to try and weather it up a bit. And now the gray piece down on the bottom, that's the concrete whatever. That will be part of it in the layout, and I'll dirty that up when I get it onto the layout and get it ballasted in, put the dirt and scenic stuff around it. But so that's my ball signal, and it looks pretty cool on the layout, and I like it just standing there by itself. It looks pretty good. All right, let's go on to one more thing that I've built for the layout, and then we'll see what we got else going on. Okay, so the other thing I really needed for the layout was a well, I call it a tunnel maintenance shed next to the tunnel portal. And what it does is it's supposed to do is hold some supplies for the inspection of the tunnels, maintenance of the tunnels, cleaning up of the tunnels, etc., etc. And it is also a place to for the signalman to sit. One of the things I need to add here is a chair or something. But this is where the signalman would sit and wait for the signal for him to change the ball signal, and he could go from there. So, but this is basically just a scratch built. I think it's probably 1 inch by 1 inch. So I think it's like 6 foot by 6 foot square building with a sloped sheet metal roof. The base is, it's kind of hard to see, but the base is plank wood, and then I weathered it all up. It's all nice and dirty. Top part of it is still kind of white, but I may add more weathering to that. I'm not sure. But let me switch this around so you can see the other side. And here's where I have a bunch of junk sitting. I have a broom sitting there. Broom's kind of large, but it's an HO scale broom. And there's a spare bead. And I think this one is same size as the other one. And then I have some other junk, a couple of 5-gallon drums sitting there. And that's pretty much it. It's everything again is all scratch built. This is the same wood that I've used for the my box cars. I used the same paneling on there, and then just trimmed it out with scale. I think it's scale either 1x6 or 2x6, and scratch built the door. And you'll notice the door, it's a lever handle door. It's not a round knob. It's just a lever handle. Tried to get away from the round knobs. And weathered it up again. I used mostly some a little bit of blacks and stuff, but mostly the dark brown is the raw umber, and then a little bit of gray, a little bit of the I think I used a little bit of a color called rusted pipe in there also. But another cheap craft paint. So that's my tunnel maintenance shed and signalman shed. And so let's go take these two things, the ball signal and this thing, and put them on the layout and see what they look like. Okay, so ball signal's in place, maintenance shed's in place. Signalman, he's kind of wondering what's going on, or he's probably wondering where his chair's at. The ball signal is set for stop, and it looks like box cab number 4 has stopped. So all is good on Waterman Junction. Anyway, that will do it for this update. This is update number 24, coming to a close. I want to thank those that are still watching, that have been watching. I want to thank some of my new watchers, new subscribers. I got a giant influx of subscribers, which I'm blaming on Boomer. Boomer Dioramas, the Immersive Railroad, is really some great stuff to watch. And hopefully I'm learning a bunch from him. Anyway, that's it for this. Everybody stay safe, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.